Hi, welcome on to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that be linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Come in. Let me show you my pad, man. You know, it's the kitchen. You like this? You feeling this? You got to check out the view here, man. Check this view out. You probably won't be able to see it exactly, but over there somewhere is Wembley Stadium. Really, really lovely setting. This is the new pad. No, I'm only joking. This is not my place. It's a good friend of mine, Raj. Big up Raj. Was out last night and haven't been able to get back to the studio, so doing the show right here. But listen, it's time to get into the transfers for the day. The big one for today is yet again Dimitri Payet. Dimitri Payet back in the news now. The Daily Star reporting that Arsenal and Manchester United are both interested in signing Dimitri Payet, and they've opened talks with him. Now, how the Daily Star know that Dimitri Payet has opened talks with Arsenal and Manchester United, I just don't know. And I really, they are a very unreliable source, as we've known over the period of times that we see some of their transfer stories, and I just don't know how they could know this. But it is, it is a big rumour today. Of course, you know what I feel about it. I feel that it's a no-brainer. If Dimitri Payet is available, I know everyone's talking about his attitude and he's gone on strike and blah, 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 but he's not the first player to do that. And it doesn't mean that if we sign him, he'd do it. And I still think with Santi, who's going to be out, let's face it, for the whole season, he would be perfect to either replace him or a player could play it on the left-hand side. And I'll still stick to that. But the Star today claiming that Dimitri Payet, in talks with Arsenal and Manchester United. Take it as you want, those sort of stories. This is another story that's also out there. This time about Niang. Niang plays for AC Milan, 22 years of age. I spoke about him being linked with Arsenal the other day, being reported to, by the communication El Mundo Deportivo. They claim that Arsenal, if they sell Alexis, will move for Niang as the replacement for Alexis Sanchez. Really? Niang? Can't be kidding me, man. Niang to replace Alexis Sanchez. Listen, he's a good player. He's a good prospect. He's really, really raw. He's one of these players that if you watch him play 1 week, brilliant. The next week, he misses a hatful of chances and he's just not, he's just a bit clumsy. He's a very good player, but to replace Alexis Sanchez, again, this is one of these stories that I just look at and I say, nah. But that's the rumour today. And on Alexis Sanchez, some good sort of sound starting to come out from him. He was speaking to the Arsenal website and he was talking about how he wants to, he's happy at Arsenal and how he wants to win trophies with Arsenal, and basically saying that this is he's happy here. The vibe coming out from him is he's happy here. Now, with this whole Alexis thing, of course we want to get the contract done, but I think things might be kind of shifting back in Arsenal's favour. As I said, what I understand is that there is a little bit of a standoff between Alexis's people and Arsenal's people over the valuation. But the news yesterday about China, and I think China is the main place where they could come in big for a player like Alexis Sanchez and pay him humongous wages. And we've seen how Diego Costa's been destabilised by bids from China. And I was reading today, our Chinese team bid for Edison Cavani, and they bid, and these players wanted to go, but it's just the clubs that said no. Now, this new ruling that's coming in China just announced yesterday that each Chinese club can only have 3 foreign players. And I think there's a lot of teams, including Arsenal, really breathing a sigh of relief here, because it means that they're not going to be able to bring over as many of the sort of star players that they want to get now in China, because you can only have 3 foreign players in your starting 11, and that's thrown the spanner in the works of a lot of these teams that really wanted to move in for some of the big stars. So that might limit, that Alexis would go to China. And what I understand, Arsenal have already said they're not selling him to any club in Europe. They're not selling him to any Premier League club. They're not selling him to any Juventus, Bayern. So that really limits him. So it could be that maybe Alexis says to himself, you know what, time to sign. Let's just, it's a decent offer. Let me sign. And I'm hoping that that's the case. Then on the other hand, I read that Alexis at the moment is embroiled in some big tax evasion case in Spain, where he's apparently admitted tax evasion to the tune of £880,000. There's, rumours that, he could even go to prison for this, which he won't, because Messi had an even heavier one and he didn't go to prison. He'd probably get a big fine. But would that influence him either to say, right, I'm going to sign a new contract at Arsenal? Or maybe he might say, well, you know what, if there is a China opening there, that will help me to pay that bill. I don't know, but I think it's a little bit more positive on Alexis Sanchez today, that maybe we could be seeing that he does end up staying at Arsenal Football Club. And I know that's what we all like to see. He's our star player. We really, really need him. Olivier Giroud talking to the press yesterday. Giroud, again, another one of the players to come out and say that, listen, I want the manager to stay. He made it quite clear that him and some of the other players, they all, well, not some of, he said him and the players, they would really like to see Arsene Wenger stay. I suppose, listen, it's going to be the natural thing that all of those players are going to say. They're playing under Wenger, especially Giroud. He's starting, he's enjoying life. So, why would he want a new manager to come in? He might bring in somebody else. But Giroud, again, more support for the manager to stay at the club. So more support there from the players for Arsene Wenger, which is, listen, that's really, really important. I mean, fans can say all we want, but a lot of times when a manager goes or leaves, and that is when the players all decide that, we've had enough of this guy, we don't want to play for him. And it doesn't seem that way at the moment at Arsenal. And finally, Per Mertesacker looks like he'll be signing a new deal at Arsenal, a 1-year extension. A little bit of a surprise this, because I think there's a lot of people who thought, that's it, he's going to be on his way out. He's had an injury all season. We've bought Mustafi now, we've got Rob Holding there, we've got lots of, defenders, we've got Callum Chambers out on loan. So where does Per Mertesacker fit in? I mean, you can't exactly say, right, you're playing on the right-hand side of something as a wing-back, can you? You know what I mean? So, but it looks like he's definitely going to be signing a contract extension. There are rumours that he could sign that and then go out on loan. I don't see how that makes sense, but that could be the case. There's also, the thing that he brings a lot of leadership qualities to that squad, and I think that's what Arsenal, we lack that. So maybe that's one of the reasons around keeping him there. He's very popular in the dressing room, and he's a real leader in that dressing room as well. But it looks like they will be giving Per Mertesacker a 1-year extension, so they feel that there's still a bit of life left in the old legs there. So listen, let's get into some of your comments from yesterday. Nick's score 74 says, screw Payet, his attitude stinks. So he doesn't want Payet. Yanis says, PK is the most overrated defender. Akash says, PK to Arsenal, get lost. Right, he said, stupid media rumours. There's a lot of people yesterday saying to me, how many more times I've got to say this on this show? To some people, they're like, Robbie, why have you even mentioned Gerard Piqué coming to Arsenal? It's a ridiculous rumour. If you watched the show yesterday, I ruined the rumour. I said to myself, I thought this is a ridiculous rumour. This show is about reporting on transfer rumours. It doesn't mean that when I say, Piqué's been linked to Arsenal, that he's coming. It doesn't mean that I think he's coming. This is why I do this. I'll talk about these rumours and I'll give you my opinion as whether I think that's a good rumour and that's something that's possible, or I think it's a load of rubbish. In this case with Piqué, I agree. It's a load of rubbish. But he's been linked with a move to Arsenal. Yeah? AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a January transfer move to Arsenal. Get that? For some of you people who were saying, why are you mentioning it? Right. Let's get one more. Hey, let me do this one. It's Mahmoud Ali. He says, hey, Robbie, can you make a shout out for my birthday? Yeah? And he said, plus my name is James. James? I thought his name is James. Happy birthday to James. Listen, thanks for watching AFTV Transfer Daily. We're going to be back around about the same time tomorrow. We'll be back in the studio. No more luxury for me. Right back down to reality. But thanks for watching the show today.